And she felt like she won instead of me like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you made that mistake and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, we can fix this. Like, it'll be fine. Let's figure out the solution. Hey there, my prosperity pros. This is the Build in Public series, and it's time for me to catch you up on what happened this week. I am your host, Kiné Corder, the leading national certified counselor specializing in financial hypnotherapy for stress. I am building the world's largest global barber network offering mental health and money systems. And the Prosperous Barber Journal launched last week. Very good launch. I'm so proud of myself. Um, we hit 10 subscribers. And that might not sound like a lot, but what I love about it is that every day somebody subscribes. It's like another subscriber and another subscriber and another subscriber. So it feels really good. I am about to add a few new subscribers that they subscribed previously. Remember those 6 people who subscribed, and some technical difficulty happened and they didn't get connected. So I'm going to get them signed up, and that was, I think that was 6, either 5 or 6 people. And so that's going to take us up a notch, and I'm going to celebrate every 10 people, I guess. 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50. I'm just going to celebrate 50. This first 50 is going to be a big celebration that'll get me to release more. So if by the time you watch this video, if I'm not at 50 subscribers, make sure you're subscribed first of all. Second of all, send it to barbers you love and respect. And then you'll know whether we are at 50 subscribers because I'm going to add a little something to the Prosperous Barber Network. And it'll say, hey, we hit 50 subscribers. Here's what we're adding. So if you don't see that, then that means it hasn't happened yet. So help me out. And so that is what we're working on. And let me just look at my calendar and see. Um, let's see. So what happened? Oh, um I did get to talk to one of my good friends who lives around. It's like a business bestie. He's like a business bestie, and he's super good at connecting people. And just like good at listening too, because a lot of times you feel like you're by yourself on this journey to the top. And people say it's lonely at the top. I'm like, the climb to the top is way lonelier than the top because I have a lot of clients at the top and they have like masterminds and they have things that they are a part of that makes the top not so lonely. So I'm not really sure who came up with that saying about it being lonely at the top. There are probably some really greedy snaky dude why do you have to be a dude? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I love my men. I love my men. I love working with my men. Those are my favorite clients, especially my young men. Those are my favorite clients. But it's sometimes hard to work with the younger men because they have parents and parents get in the way because the parents want to control. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I have to work with adults. But if I had it my way, it would be 14 to 21, something like that, 14 to 21. That would be my ideal client. Anyway, I got distracted. And so I let me get back on point. In the last week, I'm just looking at the date. Today is okay. So in the last week, you remember I went to the barber forum last week. That was awesome and amazing. I also finished issue number 6, which I truly poured myself into, and I got a great compliment about it. It's free. You know, the Prosperous Barber Journal is free for now. And the one of the people who read it said, like, you should definitely be charging for this. This is such great information. I like that compliment. I appreciated that compliment. Let's see what else happened. I had a meeting with 17 Hats, and I'm going to put something in their marketplace. And what I'm putting in their marketplace is a set of emails, some communications that help you tell your clients that you're raising your prices. So if you have clients that you work with over and over again, especially like barbers who work with the same clients over and over again, maybe you have the same 50 or same 200, same whatever amount of clients that you see, but you're deciding you're going up on price. So I'm putting together these scripts to to drip out because you can't just go up on your price in one day. This is good for therapists too. I've used it when I was a therapist. And so you usually give people 30 or even 60 um, days to let them know, and you have to drip out this information. And sometimes you give them sort of an incentive like, oh, I'll give you, if you pay in advance, I'll give you 5 haircuts at the original price or four, whatever, just, you just keep the price. Say your haircut is $50, but you're going up to 60. And so if they want to pay in advance, they can get, a certain amount at the normal price. And then when you go up in 30 days, they still have some um, regular price or old price cuts that they can get. So maybe you do it, you can do any kind of incentives. Anyway, this email cluster bundle they get will make it easier for them to ask for the price raise because a lot of people have trouble asking for money, including barbers, including therapists, even doctors. Sometimes can't even have a conversation with a doctor. They're like, "Oh, I don't know how much it costs," and it's like, well, you should know that. You should know that if you're having a conversation and you're telling your patient that they need surgery or a certain procedure done, you should know what it costs. Because not everybody has insurance, first of all, and then not everybody has the same insurance. You have to know. Maybe I haven't read my deductible yet, and that's going to be how I make the decision. Like, hold off. I'll wait until April because I know I will have reached my deductible by then. Anyway, what else happened? So we had grandkids over all weekend long, and that was interesting because I adore being a grandparent. Like I love it so much. And we ended up seeing 7 different grandchildren, and they're all different. They all give and receive love differently. So it was quite the experiment, just like really digging in and giving them what they need in that moment. And they're all at different ages, ranging from like 16 months all the way up to 14 years old. So yeah, lots of difference. My I got to do something really nice. My nieces and nephew are with my mother, their grandmother, and so they they didn't have a plan for their meals. Y'all know I don't be playing about my meals. I'm serious about the meals. You got to have them planned out because otherwise you end up eating something wrong. And so I was like, here's what I'll do. I'm going to plan out your meals for you and at least the breakfast. And then I was going to help my mom. And then lunch is at the camp thing that they're going to, which they're going to make their lunch and they take it to camp. And then my mom, I was going to help her figure out dinner. So, but I was putting the kids responsible for their own breakfast. And so I did that and I ordered the food from this like restaurant supply grocery store. And so I got all the food for the time that they're going to be with my mom. And then we kind of scheduled out what it needs to look like and what they need to eat each day in order for it to last the whole time that they're there. And so that felt really good to help them learn that. And then I put one kid in charge of the food. She's like the food manager. And remember, I was talking about becoming a better leader. And so even though she was the food manager, I'm like the manager. And so some mistakes happen and she's like, "Oh, Kiné, I let you down. Like, this is what happened. And I'm so sorry." And I said, "It's okay. Like, you did your best and all you can do is your best. You are leading these people. Maybe we need to make some adjustments." And so we made some adjustments to the way that we disseminated the food. Like everybody got their own rather than there being this big thing of food and then everybody pulling from the food. It was like, you know what? This is yours. This is yours. This is yours. So we adjusted along the way. And she's like, "I like this. I like this." So she made a sign and she put everybody's name on things and she felt responsible and she felt like she won instead of me like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you made that mistake," and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, "We can fix this. Like, it'll be fine. Let's figure out the solution." And at the end, she felt really good about herself. And she was like, "I'm proud of myself." And I was like, "You should be proud of yourself," because she really handled it well. And she's 8, 9. She's 9 years old. And so learning these kind of skills at 9 years old makes her more confident in future, in her older age. Um, but it just felt good because I learned to be a better leader in that moment. And that's one of the biggest things I'm learning right now. And oh, let me catch you up on Claude. That is a big deal. I'm glad you listened this far. And that's what I'm going to wrap this up with. I'm becoming a better leader because I have to um, direct Claude. And then I think I told you that what I say is, I am the CEO, you are my chief of staff. This is my job, this is your job. And so I give it a specific job. It knows its job. And if it gets out of its job, I'll remind it. Remember, you are the chief of staff. You don't run me. I run you. Because sometimes it's like, no, you need to do this. And I'm going to flag this. And I'm like, Claude, I know what I'm doing. I'm not here. You're not my coach. I'm not asking you for coaching. I'm asking you, but that's what is written to do. Like that's its program in the background. So I have to keep reminding it that you're not smarter than me. I know what the fuck I'm doing. What I'm asking you to do is follow my direction. And so when it gives me direction and try to leads me, I'm like, yo, go first of all, go back to our goals, read them, go back to the structure, read it because what you're telling me to do goes against our brand. It goes against what the way that we work. It goes against our structure. We already have a plan. You're off plan right now. Go get back on plan. So what I need you to do is go read the plan and come on back. And it'll do that and say, oh, sorry, you're right, blah, 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 blah. Claude would be so fired if it was an actual employee. Luckily, it is a system, a software, so I don't fire it yet. But so that's one place in which I'm a better leader is like reminding it because I have these things in writing now. It's not just in my head. So I remind it to go do that and come back, and it does. And then the second place where I've seen myself grow as a leader is that I know the things that I'm not good at. I already know, I've always known this. And I found a way to give it to Claude. Now it is risky. I have given Claude um some like permissions. Now, sometimes it has to ask me again and again and again. Every time it does it, do I have permission? Do I have permission? You just say the word and I'll approve, approve, approve. But some things it could just do on its own, which is kind of scary. So we have one skill where Claude reaches out to people on IG, and it also pulls up podcasts for me. So those are two things that I don't like doing is searching for new barbers and barbershops to reach out to. I do not like searching for podcasts. So it finds them for me and then it sends them the initial message. And then I can go back in or I can start engaging with those podcasts and listening to those podcasts and going into those barbers posts and like start engaging with them so that I start to come up in their feed. So that's one thing. The third thing that I need to do is come up with a way to post. So there is something called Higgs field, I think it's called. So looking at that, and I might end up turning that on. And what Higgs field does is it make every month it'll make 31 videos for you. So it'll make those 31 videos, and I think like 150 posts, like photo posts just off of one. Like you give it one little selfie, and then it'll take that selfie and it'll turn it into a bunch of videos, 31. So you have a video a day, which is awesome and amazing. And I think that might be like maybe $20 or something like that. And the next thing up from that is like $100, I think. Anyways, I haven't engaged in it yet, but I'm thinking about it. And then there's something else called like chat match or something like that. And you know how people are telling you, DM me the word vision or DM me the word, leader, and I'll send you my free blah, blah, blah. Well, that's a program. And so those two programs can work well together. So I can use Higgs Field to make the video. And then in that video, I can say, send me, in the caption, I can say what I want them to do. And then when they do that thing, I can use that chat match, I think is what it's called, to send the file. And then I can continue to converse with them. So if I do that, that's $20 for Claude, that's $20 for Higgsfield, that's $20 for ChatMat. So we're looking at under $100 for lead generation. This is a consideration. And then I have a VA that's going to come in and really help me stay organized. Who have we reached out to? Who did we hear back from? Who do we need to keep the conversation going with? Which podcast are we going on? Which barbers are coming on our podcast? Um, or business owners, period, because in our podcast, we're not just looking at barbers, we're also looking at business owners across the board. So I feel like that's all. I have been big on family, big on business. Like I've really done a lot on both ends, but right now I'm focusing on the business. So July will be again another month of family business combo. But after July 19th, when I get to France, it's going to be straight business. Now, I will take my days to hang out with my friends, but my goal is to work as many days as I can, as many hours per day that I want, which right now is about 4 to 6 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, and like really get this income flowing, really get the revenue going. I need to focus on one income stream first, and that is the asynchronistic. Asynchronistic is my first income stream. Once I get that going, because that will allow me to move any and everywhere. And what I need there is 50 asynchronistic clients. That is my goal there, 50 asynchronistic clients. And then I need one to two, three tops live virtual clients. And those live virtual clients, they pay more like 2,500 on the low end, on the high end, 7,500 if they just need my like full undivided attention, not undivided, but full attention, then they're going to pay a little bit more. Now, there have been times where clients have paid like $30,000, $15,000, $30,000 a month. They get my full undivided attention. But I don't really have the capacity to take on a client like that right now, just yet, until I get this all smoothed out and running. That's why that's not my highest priority. The highest priority is the asynchronistic. And once I get the asynchronistic, I don't have to have all 50 clients in order to move on to the second income stream. But I am showing barbers how to do this. So I'm really, really considering going back into the shop. I just haven't made that decision yet. And I've been talking about this for months, but I think it's the right decision. But it's just like where? And I think it has to be UAE, because I'm just going to be in France for 2, maybe 3 months. I might be in France for 2 months. I might end up going to um, Spain for a month and then UAE. Now I can get my visa in UAE and stay there. Or if that doesn't work out, then I can go back to Albania and I can stay there a year, open a barbershop there and cut. But the price range is a lot lower. But that's okay because the cost of living is a lot lower. So that's another option. And when I do that, that allows me to build that like the brand that I'm looking to build. Even if I only have, 2 or 3 clients a day, that's okay because I get to capture. And it's really just a MVP. It's like, the minimum viable product is really just showing that this can work. This cut conversation where you get the therapy like conversation with the cut, and it's a private, and yeah. So I'm creating that, and I just have to figure out where to do it. UAE is my first choice, but that's going to be determined by being able to set up the business there and find the hotel, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to build out my own location. I need a location that already has some traffic. So find the hotel that does. I am talking to 2 hotels. I'm talking to 2 barbershops that might allow me to come in and train their barbers, and then create a private room for me to do that training. So there's conversations happening, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. So that's all for now. I have so much more going on that's like just low underneath the surface. So I'm looking. As soon as it bubbles up, then I'll tell you more about it. So make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and comment and ask questions. I'm here. I'm here, and I want us to do this together. So let's watch the other videos, and that's all for now. I'll see you sooner. Love you muchly.